Good afternoon. We're waiting for the press conference. It's going to be at 3 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Pacific. This is the guy, Bryan Christopher Kohberger. Creepy looking dude. Found an article with quite a bit of information about him. And before anybody asks, no, I am absolutely not sharing the posts that I found by him that are graphic in nature. I do know that they were associated with him because they're associated with the email address that he used with his studies at DeSales. So I may read them later, but I'm not going to display them. I may read parts of them, but believe me, you don't want to see it. I was sick to my stomach and upset for a while after seeing them. I don't want to put that out there. So anyway, there's this article. It says more than 6 weeks. It's actually been 7, and today's Kaylee and Maddie's funeral, by the way. More than 6 weeks after these students were found murdered, police made a breakthrough on Friday, this is today, arresting a 28-year-old criminology student who studied just miles from the off-campus residence that became the brutal crime scene. A local law enforcement source confirmed to the Daily Beast that an arrest was made out of state. Citing unnamed sources, NBC News, Fox News, and local outlet KHQ reported that the suspect was taken into custody in Monroe County, Pennsylvania on Friday morning. It was around 3 a.m. is what I saw on the arrest document. So arrest records there, which I will show you, identified the person as 28-year-old Bryan Christopher Kohberger from Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. He was ordered to be extradited on January 3rd during a hearing this morning. So he was arrested at 3 a.m. He already had his bail hearing. Bail was denied. He will be extradited back to Idaho on January 3rd. Now check this out, because I was wondering, like, what's the connection? How I think they found him probably through the car and the disturbing social media posts. NBC reported that a white Hyundai Elantra was towed from the same Albrightsville house where Kohberger was arrested. Moscow police had previously appealed for information on a white Hyundai Elantra seen in the vicinity of the murders in November. Public records for Kohberger peg him as a registered libertarian voter with a keen interest in criminal justice and criminology. He is listed as a PhD student by the Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology at Washington State University in Pullman, just 8 miles from Moscow, Idaho. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to comment on that in just a second. And he completed his graduate studies in criminal justice this year at DeSales University in Center Valley, Pennsylvania. Okay, guys, I don't claim to be any kind of psychic or medium or anything like that. But I do believe in one of my last videos, if you pull it up, I said that I had this weird feeling that this is connected to Pullman. I believe that's in one of my last 2 videos. I said this person is connected to Pullman. I just feel it. I will say that there's a couple of people who we thought were suspects. One of them has a best friend who lives in Pullman who is very similar to this dude. And I'm wondering if there's still a connection that we're just not aware of. You know, maybe he didn't. I don't know what's going on, but that is really strange because the person who I found lived right off of campus. Very strange. Okay, so I'll dig into that later, but if you hear about another arrest coming out of Pullman, I bet you I know who it is. He currently works at, I'm not going to say his name, but he works at NWS. I will say that. And he is, in my opinion, based on what I've seen on his social media, he appears to be an incel. I don't know if this guy is an incel, but I do know that that theory had been out there for a while. And I wonder if that is connected to this story. All right, I'm going to continue reading. In a since removed post on Reddit from 7 months ago, I can show you this one. Kohberger asked ex-cons to participate in a DeSales research product that sought to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime and understand the story behind your most recent criminal offense. Let's see. A little bit of information on him. Looks like he received a bachelor's degree in 2020 and completed his graduate studies in June 2022. Let's see. Bryan Kohberger was also listed online as studying psychology in 2018 at Northampton Community College in Albrightsville, where he was a member of Psi Beta, and gotten involved in raising awareness of hidden disabilities. I did see, that's kind of interesting because I did see some Reddit posts that were regarding raising awareness of hidden disabilities. And I wasn't totally sure if those were him, but now I am. Okay. This is very interesting and very creepy. He was also employed as a part-time school security guard by the Pleasant Valley School District for several years until last year. This guy who was friends with him came forward and has already described him. Says he used to be overweight when they graduated. But by the start of senior year, Kohberger was thinner than a rail and had turned aggressive. He'd also picked up a new hobby, taking boxing classes. He always wanted to fight somebody. He was bullying people. And he and his other friends started kind of cutting Bryan out of the group because he was, quote, 100% a different person. Asked what may have contributed to that change last summer, McLaughlin being his former friend, said, "We have no idea." So they worked together. He and Kohberger would spend half the school day at Pleasant Valley High School before heading over to Monroe County's vocational school, where they also took classes related to heating and air conditioning work. And he said that Kohberger also took criminal justice courses to potentially become a cop. Can you imagine if this man had actually become a police officer? Man. He said he broke off the friendship when Kohberger started putting moves on his girlfriend. This arrest signifies a long-awaited breakthrough after the four friends were stabbed to death as they slept in their off-campus home. Let's say their names. Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin. Man. May they now rest in peace. I hope that this is the beginning of real justice for them and their families. And I know this has got to be a big relief for Kaylee and Maddie's families as they lay them to rest today. And I don't like reading graphic anything, so I'll just highlight this and you can read it. Well, I can read this. Police had initially called the killings targeted, but later walked that back, conceding for weeks that they had no murder weapon, no motive, no suspect, and no clear reason why they were killed so brutally. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah, the lack of clues in this case gave way to a flurry of rumors. Though police said that they had cleared the 2 roommates who survived, as well as a man who'd received repeated phone calls. That's Jack D, y'all. All right. Okay, so it's 1:30 now, hour and a half from now. Probably an hour by the time I get this uploaded. So, whole bunch of people I know are going to be streaming this. I will not. I'll be in attendance at one of them. Possibly Web Sleuths, possibly Titanium Built. I'm not really sure where I'm going to be, but I'm going to be watching it. So if you're looking for a place to watch it, my last video has 2 links. The Moscow Police Department will be streaming it directly on their YouTube. The link is in my last video. I'll go ahead and add it to this one too in the description. All right, guys, so they got the guy. I'm just not sure if they got the only guy. Oh, which reminds me, he did ask, according to sources, he asked this morning if any other arrests had been made. That's why I'm thinking he didn't act alone. He had a help in some shape. So, isn't that a very interesting question for him to ask, unless he's playing games? All right, guys, I will see you later. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button for me. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead. I appreciate it. And continued prayers for these families and all their loved ones and all their friends. I hope this will bring a sense of security and peace to the campus, to all the students and their families as well. I would be freaking out if my kid was there trying to go to college. They wouldn't be there in person right now for sure. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this, and I will see you guys a little later.